Hi, everybody. Welcome to our session on Fliplet's publishing updates. So today we're going to give you a little bit of an overview on some of the improvements we've made to our publishing and deployment process. My name is Sophie Mawhinney. I'm the product manager here at Fliplet, and I'm going to be running you through this session. As always, if you have any specific questions as we're going through the session, please pop them in the chat under Q&A, and we will get back to you with those answers. So today, what are we going to cover? We're going to give you a little bit of an introduction to our publishing experience and really some of the key pain points that we have set out to solve. I'll give you a little bit of an overview of some of those new key features. We'll give you a slight different demo, highlighting some of those key features and changes we've made. So we won't do a full end-to-end use case, but we'll highlight some of the things that are important for you to know. We'll also give you a bit of an update on a new alternative publishing method called Fliplet Hub. And then if we have any time at the end, we'll take some questions and answers. Okay, so our publishing, as you know, is the process of getting a app live, either a web app or an app onto one of the app stores, our iOS or Android apps to the Apple Connect or to Google Play Store. So if you've ever published an app before, you may know that the process can sometimes be a little bit challenging. So what we've really done here is try to highlight some of those pain points and eliminate them really from the new process that we've built. So you'll see some of the key benefits being this faster build. So the way that we build apps now is a lot faster than previously. You're seeing these builds complete sometimes in as quick as 2 minutes, as sometimes before they would take sometimes up to 10 minutes. You would see interruptions. So the whole framework of how your app built is happening a lot faster. We have a new deep link functionality that's built into this configuration. So what deep linking is, if you're not familiar, it is basically creating a seamless path from a QR code, scanning a QR code from a link in a website, say. It's taking you from those links or that scanning and taking you directly into the native version of the app if the user has it downloaded on their device. So again, another kind of nice to have for the web to native experience. That's all part of the setup now. We also have this set it up once, use it forever kind of mentality in this new publishing. So what this really means is you input your credentials once, and you can use them again across your organization, across different apps, and of course, across the same app. So things like the API that will connect to the Apple Store, things like your push notification credentials. Once those are all input one time, they can be used again. We also have a really streamlined setup. So this is one thing I'll show you in the demo. Previously, there was a lot of different fields and information you'd have to gather from different places. What we've done is really reduce the amount of details that you need to input on the Fliplet side. So there's a lot less room for error and a lot less time spent in publishing, really. We also, as I mentioned, the set it up once for use forever. Our push notification configuration now sits within the flow. If you remember before, it was kind of external to it. So this is something that you can set up once as you're publishing an app, and you'll be able to use it again, as I mentioned, for any apps across your organization. So you don't have to kind of look for different keys and credentials. And then just in general, there's one kind of dashboard that gives you visibility across all of your publishing methods, different statuses, histories, information you need is kind of all in one place, where previously it was kind of mismatched across a few different screens. So I will make sure to highlight those to you as we go through our demo. So one important thing to point out before we do jump into our little demo session is just to highlight the App Store guidelines. So I'm sure, again, you're familiar if you've ever published an app to one of the app stores. There are sometimes some strict and maybe confusing guidelines and requirements that both Apple and Google set. So these are things that unfortunately are outside of our control. So at Fliplet here, we can kind of control everything up to submitting your app and having one of the app stores review it. So there's still maybe some confusion and back and forth with the app stores, but what we are here to do is guide you through that really. And we have built in some inflow publishing guidance for submission to the app stores. And I'll show you those once we get to that section. So, into our demo, just quickly an overview of what we're going to do in this session because it will be slightly different from, an end-to-end demo that you may be used to seeing. But first, I'll give you a overview of that new dashboard, the simplified look, the simplified flow. We'll kind of look at the old publishing flow and all of the steps that you previously had, and then we'll jump into our shiny new one to show you what we've really cut down and changed. I'll show you that kind of reuse forever mentality. I say reuse forever, reuse while it's valid, but that's something we can talk about as well. The validation that's in there, the faster click kind of publishing, and the guidance really throughout the flow, publishing flow. I'll also point out that post build guidance that I mentioned as well. So this is going to be the guidance that helps you successfully get your apps onto the App Store. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and navigate into Fliplet Studio. So, where I am currently is I'm going to click onto this Publish button. What you're seeing here is the new publishing dashboard. But before I jump into that, I just want to go back to our classic version. You'll see that option at the top of the publishing flow now. But if you recall, this is kind of the old way to get into publishing. So this is the App Store for an example. You can see here I have, my different statuses and everything here. Warning messages that may be very hard to read. But what I really wanted to show you is the number of details that we were requiring to put in. So you can see we have all the information on the app. Language, category, keywords, pricing, URLs, reviewer notes, and lots of informations on the submitter, who you are, where do you live, where's your business registered. A lot of this information that may have been confusing on why we had it here. You'll also remember potentially this is where we connected with the App Store. So you would have to put your Apple developer account login. You'd have to get a keyword. You'd have to bring that back. Sometimes if there was someone else in your organization, it was slightly confusing on getting this information. The app specific password was required. So lots of information here that you would have to kind of gather before you could actually get your app published. So we've kind of, I would say we have eliminated most of this because the way that the apps are now built, they really don't require this information to actually build your app. It will be required to publish your app onto the app stores, but this is something that should be managed in your App Store Connect or in your Apple account. It's obviously up to date with all the guidance you need there. It's nicely laid out, lots of information from either of the app stores. So again, it's not that this information isn't needed anymore, but it's not needed to build your app on this end. It will be needed when you get into the app store, and we'll talk about that again in a minute. So if I come back into Publish now, I am in my new dashboard here. So as I said, I'm going to just highlight some of the new features that you'll see here and explain to you how they work. So you'll see here, I nicely now can see all of my publishing methods. So you'll see I have my app set up on a custom domain. You'll see I have a draft in progress for my iOS app, and I have successfully built an app on the Google Play Store. So I can see here in one place where everything is. If I say needed to find out some more information about either one of the publishing methods, I could come into the individual dashboard. I can find out some information on different ways that I can distribute it. I find out some information on, push notifications, what comes with it, etc. So lots of information here within one place. So I'm not having to go kind of navigate back and forth to other places within Studio, whether that's a support article or through the help menu. We have a lot of information here that wasn't there before. And again, everything that you need that was existing previously in publishing, configuring, and updates sits right here in that dashboard. So everything you need really is here. So let's go into our App Store. I'll kind of talk to you about that one step republish. So this is obviously a app that's in draft. This was previously published, and you'll see here now I'm taken to this lost stage. So I can see I already have everything configured for me that I previously had configured. It's draft because before this I went into it and started the new submission. So that's why you're seeing it as draft. But it knows that everything's here. It's up my version number for me, and it's kind of ready to go and build, if you will. So, I'm not gonna do that for now, but I'm gonna come back and show you some of our, um, verification that I mentioned here. So this is the API key. This is what's reading to the app stores. If you have never, set this up before, you'll set one to begin with in your App Store Connect. If you have any questions on how to do that, it's going to be all in the flow for you. You would go ahead and set that up one time and then again be able to use it all throughout your publishing, whether it's this app or another app within your organization. I'm going to select one that I previously had. This one that is one that's available for my organization only, and it's going to verify that this is valid. So there's lots of validation that happens in each step. So you're no longer going to get to the end of the build and question, is this going to work? Is it going to go through? I now know here that my API is valid. So I'll continue. It's going to validate it for me as well, double check, and it's going to pull up my distribution certificate. So for those of you that know about distribution certificates, those are assigned to you by Apple, by your App Store Connect. What the API is allowing me to do is read to see that I have a valid distribution certificate. If I don't have a valid one, I'll be able to create one through the API. That's really nothing that you need to worry about. The main thing is it valid? And I can see here in the UI that it's valid. What it's also doing is pulling APIs that are connected, bundle IDs that are connected with that API and with that Apple account. So um, I can correctly pull my bundle ID that I need, and it will also set the app version for me. If it's a rebuild, it will increase that number for you. And again, you'll see that this will validate everything as it moves across. So push notifications, I'm not going to go through and set all this up, but just to give you the idea, push notifications do sit in here. I can then go to the end, review everything. Another thing that has been added in here is this splash screen preview. So if you remember before, that kind of set outside of the publishing flow, so I'd have to go there and find that and come back in. I can see now that this probably isn't the right size that I want to use, but I can at least see a preview and understand how it would look on my device for me once it's published. So lots of things that are in here that are helpful for you, instructions on where you need to go to find things, lots of previews, lots of validation. So again, these are just things that are making the process a little bit easier and reducing the amount of guessing, really. And although everything was valid as I was going through, if it wasn't, you would definitely see let's try this one, a clear error message. So this is saying the API key is no longer valid. You need to go back and create a new one, etc. So it's going to ask me if I'm okay to leave the process, which I am. So that was some of the new features within the flow. Android has a lot of the same ones. Um, I also wanted to show you a couple other things in here. So this is Android. So this is built. So here that we can show you that kind of one step publish. So you'll see here now that I've gone and selected to build a new version. So again, all this information's here. It has told me now that it's going to automatically bump up my version number because it's a new build. If I wanted to go back into any of these and edit, if I want to change a splash screen or icon or whatever, I could do that. Otherwise, I just need to click on build new version and it's going to go ahead and build that new version for me. So there's no more manual going back and through, setting everything up. Everything's checked and valid, and I can just do that one step click to republish. So that is super helpful. Just going to exit this one more time because I want to highlight our next steps. So this is the third part of the kind of demo overview that I wanted to talk to you guys about, that guidance of getting your app onto the App Store. So you can clearly see here your app is built. So Fliplet has done the hard work and built your app for you. And there are a lot more steps, as you know now, to get that onto one of the app stores. So specifically for Android, you'll see I have this message here. I'm going to click on next steps, and it's going to take me to an overview page. So it's going to say your build's complete. It's not live yet. Follow the steps below. So you'll know for Google, you need to download your bundle and upload that to the Google Play Store. That's here. So I don't need to go looking around for it. And it will give you clear steps on what you need to do. So downloading it, here's what I need to do. There it is. Setting it up. Here's all the different sections that I need to go to set it up. Completing the store listing. What do you need? This is making sure that you're crossing everything off the list. Now, we're not validating it from the App Store if you've done it or not. This is simply guidance to help you kind of get there. And we can also see, if I come out of this quickly, I'm going to go back. I want to show you it for next. So I wanted to highlight iOS as well because it's slightly different. What iOS does is it allows you to select your different publishing methods. So as you know, there's multiple ways to publish different types of apps, but specifically for iOS, we can do it to the public app store unlisted through your MDM. So what this does is filter the method that you want to publish it and give you that guidance. And we also in here have a few different things built into it. So you'll know screenshots are needed for both of them. You'll see that in both of them where you can generate your screenshots. Specifically, Apple wants a certain reviewer note copy. So if I copy this, it's going to copy that template to the clipboard. I can then go ahead and paste that into the App Store and follow the instructions there. So again, we can't fully submit an app for you, but we can get you as far as possible. And what we hope we've done here is kind of given you that hands-on guidance to help you be successful. And of course, our team's always prepared and ready to help you when needed. Okay, so that is our demo. I'm then just going to jump back into a couple more things we want to talk about. So I guess before we jump into Fliplet Hub, the publishing V2 is live. What I was showing you is all live. V2 is an internal reference, but it is the new publishing method. So once you click on that publishing button, you will be taken into that new dashboard and see that nicely there for you. Part of the publishing dashboard that is not available now, but will soon be available, is this Fliplet Hub. So this is going to be a new distribution method of getting your app live, really. So right now you have your web app, you have the option to get them live on either one of the app stores, and you will soon have the option to use our Fliplet Hub. So what our Fliplet Hub is going to do is be the container app for getting your app live. So you'll no longer have to worry about App Store submissions, maintaining developer accounts on either one of those app stores, certificates, etc. We will control all of that through our container app, and we will allow anyone interested to publish their apps onto this container hub. So the apps can go live instantly. There's no more review process. You can control access via different types of links, QR codes, or access codes. So your users will still have that same experience into your app. It will be fully branded. It will look exactly the same as your app. It's just a different way that the user will access it. And if I go to the next screen here, this is kind of an overview of what it will look like. So think of this as the hub, the container. So your user will put their access code into it, some sort of verification maybe, and what they will see here is the option to enter your app. So this would be your app. It would have your branding, your icon, whatever, and the user would be able to log into it and seamlessly get into your app without needing to get it onto the App Store. So again, just another option to help you get your apps live quicker. Completely optional, but it's a way to eliminate the back and forth with app stores, really. Super exciting. It's in the works. We don't have a definite deadline of when it will go live, but there's lots of information going to be coming out about it. So stay tuned. And if you're interested in its more information, please just pop it in the chat and we can reach back out to you with some more details. Okay. If there's any questions, please pop them in the chat as well. We will get back to you with those answers. We hope everything that you have seen today is interesting and helpful. As I said, publishing sometimes can be a challenging process, so we've really set out to make it easier for you. Lots of support information on our website, on our support site, if you would like more details on anything you've seen today. Thank you so much for attending.